Hello, and welcome to episode. Fuck, hold on. What episode is it?
47. I don't know.
I think you're close. We are on episode 49.
Ooh,
Ah,
that was
damn.
close.
Episode 49, fellers. Welcome back, my two lovely co hosts, Jacob and David.
Put math in a blender.
I'm actually gonna strangle fucking Math. Listen, he might be in wrestling right now, but he cannot keep himself from me. I will fly to New Zealand and throw him off the highest cliff. And it will be
Do we have any
pay-per-view.
cliffs in New Zealand?
I
don't
mean,
know.
there's the mountain range where they place Minas
Yeah, well-
Tirith.
With Mount Taupo.
That is pretty cool. I thought I'd introduce our topics. This should be well-known information. Chris Chan fucked his mom.
Really, I didn't know that.
And the episode came out. When I put it in the topics list, it was the episode where they introduced the idea that he fucked his mom. A new episode is released since then where we get the juicy details, and it's worse than I imagined. It is so much worse than I imagined. I actually had to pause the episode about 7 times just to collect myself to keep going because the episode is so graphic. It's so bad. Did either of you guys watch it?
I don't think I've watched an. Yeah, I don't think I've watched an episode since it was 70 something.
Oh god, if you watch this new one, it's the worst one to date. Whatever you could have ever thought that you've seen before is not a fraction of how bad this one is. It's oh dude, just go watch it. Everyone go watch it. But beware, it's the worst one. Chris talks about it. 2 people in detail. And it's a rape scene. It's not consensual.
I mean, I don't think anybody was ever
But-
thinking that it was.
From Chris's own voice. And then on top of that, we also get more information. I think her name was Isabel. She was fucked up too. To sum it up, she likes scat porn, and she's a pedophile because she likes little kids in porn. I mean, of course. She's also kills hamsters for sexual desire. Yeah, that's there's more to it than that, but that's all I can remember off the top of my head. She contacted Genio Samuel himself to ask to not be in the episode, and he spent
I wonder why.
he spent the last 20 minutes detailing her location, her social medias, her relatives, basically just doxed her for the last 20 minutes. Because despite Chris having sex with his mom, she was the villain of this episode. It was crazy. It was a whole journey, start to finish, for this episode, and I can't believe it's finally out and we get the episode. I don't think I've ever been attached to a documentary this before. It's nuts.
You know why? Because there's never been and never will be a documentary like this
Genio
before.
Samuel needs an award for his documentarian skills.
Because it is completely unbiased, unfiltered. He does not skip over details thinking like, oh, they don't need to hear about this. He goes over everything and makes sure that it is well known. Like, nothing that I am putting forward is misinformation It is not hearsay or word of mouth. It is documented cases from people that were involved.
Genio Samuel himself will be used as an educational source on how to make proper documentaries from here on out. It's nuts. No, but
If
to
you
sum it
go
up,
to media school, you will watch each and every single one of his documentaries.
each episode. Oh my goodness! Imagine sitting in a college class, and the professor tells you, "All right, open up Genio Samuel's 2.1's YouTube channel. Take notes."
It's gonna be in the test. Now, what did Chris Chan do in August?
What did Chris Chan do to the Fanta?
See, and the crazy thing is like, can you think of a single, like, I guess, specific subject documentary that has gone on as long as this?
No.
Because, like, yeah, you could say, like, Planet Earth has, you know, hundreds of episodes, but, I mean, that's just covering literally everything on the planet. But, like, can you think of, like, a single World War II documentary that has gone on this long?
No.
Because I can only think of one, and it's a entire history of World War One, start to finish, for every country involved. I swear, I think these guys probably started going into the daily lives of, like, every soldier on the Western Front at some point, because they just decided that's what we're gonna do for the rest of our lives. I can't even remember the name of the channel that does it.
His name is Zach.
No, it's not. Like, I mean, this is
No, I know.
it's
I
a
know.
legitimate
Just-
like
I
channel.
know.
They go over some insanely small details.
That is
But
crazy.
that's the thing. They are still covering the broad subject of World War. This is one guy.
This is one guy who, despite never touching shrooms or LSD, is tripping harder than anyone has ever tripped before.
Like, it baffles me that more people don't know about him just strictly off of the insane title that you can give him, being the most documented human in history.
I don't understand how Chris, despite being the most documented human being in all of existence, has not gotten to his head that every action he will do will be documented and uploaded for everyone to see.
That's the
'Cause he-
terrifying thing.
He makes decisions that he knows people will hate and make fun of him for, and he does it anyway.
That's the thing that's terrifying, though. Think of how much weird shit, awful things that he's done that we just don't know about because it wasn't online.
That's almost nightmare inducing.
Because, like, the whole thing is, I get, like, the real, like, I guess the first, what's the word? I guess, like, the first awful thing that came up in Chris Chan's documentary, because there's all the stuff, like, in the earlier years of it where people were just kind of bullying him, and it was back when he was first really a lol cow, and people were just making fun of him, and you kind of felt bad, because it's like, they're just bullying this autistic guy. But then the crazy shit started coming up. I don't remember her name, but the girl that was at the, like, collectible or, like, game shop that he used to go to.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
And the stuff that came out with her, and how it's just like, she's just trying to be nice to him, because obviously, like, pretty much anybody would be around that person. If you don't know what they're like, you're just like, I'll humor you. And then it just got weird. It got creepy.
Yeah.
And that's, like, think of how many times things like that could have happened. and it wasn't documented because he didn't talk about it.
It is so scary.
Like, it reminds me, it's like the times that people don't think about it, because they always think about, with the Christian's history, is it's always the stuff that got online, where the trolls were getting information, like getting him to say stuff or do things. Oh, excuse me. There's the more modern, where does he stream? His streams, are they on Twitch?
His streams are on YouTube.
Oh, okay, YouTube. So like he's streaming now,
Yeah.
and it's like, but there's a clip from local news, and this is just how simple it was. It was like some public event in town, and they were just doing a report on it, and Christian just happens to walk by the reporter.
Yeah.
He was not like aware of the he wasn't aware of the camera or anything. It's not like he was trying to get seen. He just happened to walk by. And it's like, that's where you realize, like, it's that same thing where you look at people that you walk by on the street and you realize, man, that's a whole ass person. They have all these thoughts and lives that they're living. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they're doing, what depth of character they are. Hell, you could be walking by this person and they could be like a secret Santa for like 30 people. They could spend their days like at orphanages. I don't know how to. Fuck it, I'm getting stuck.
Live.
Yeah, I'm getting stuck on that word. Point is, they could do all this awesome things. They could just be a serial killer that's looking, like, literally in that moment, following their next mark, and you just don't know. And the same applies for Christian. Granted, that same clip where he walked by in the news report, I don't remember specifically what soundtrack it was, but they used some type of horror movie soundtrack as he walked by.
I like to imagine he like looks at somebody and someone looks back, and they get like a hellscape of like flashbacks, and like directly transplanted into that person's brain.
That's what it feels like. If you see clips from his streams where he has like those moments of lucidity, where you just see the like, he suddenly looks real. Like for me, Christiana has an uncanny valley. Yeah. Like, not in like he doesn't look human.
He's got like a glazed look.
Yeah, like everything is fake. But there's times where you see him kind of just stop and he sits there and starts thinking, and you just see this depth of shame and despair. And you realize, like, I don't think he's fully in control. I think Sonichu might be real. When he says that he is possessed by Magi-chan, I might become a true believer. Because there's no way that he is a normal human is just doing this.
Do you think he got fulgrimed? Where the real him got shoved so far back into his consciousness that he has no control over his actions. He just has to watch and witness.
I was going to say, in less of a comparing him to a fictional character, I was just going to compare him to Will Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Just, there's so many layers of cover-up and irony that you just gotta hit life with, it is what it is.
Just the idea of being an
I'm the goddess
observer.
of the dimensional merge.
Yeah. The little Christian boy that we used to know is still in there, but all he can do is watch. All he can do is
do you think
day by day.
Do you think it all started when he stopped being Christopher?
What if he never got renamed to Christian? Would any of this have happened? That's such an interesting butterfly effect idea.
Yeah, the real person responsible for all of this is whoever it was that signed the legal papers stating that his name was now Christian.
I have sorry to interrupt, but I'm literally like looking at the chat in Chris Chan's like latest stream. One of them says Chris merged with Barbara.
Gross.
You know, the one that
says,
always...
I'm gonna merge.
The one that always
merge.
seems to be the quickest way to make people cringe is to remind everyone to eat your vegetables, but not like Chris.
Eh. Oh, he streamed 8 hours ago. He also has a huge hatred for My Little Pony Generation 5. They mentioned that a lot in the series, too. Because Christian goes on a huge tirade screaming at, I think it's Hasbro execs, about canceling. He made it like a direct threat with the Dimensional Merge against them. Saying that they have to cancel G5 and go back to G4 and make, I think, 5 more seasons of it. I don't know anything about that. I just thought it was funny because upon seeing his newest stream, it's named "Telling It to All of You" and the Hasbro executives and staff. He also capitalizes some of these words and doesn't others. I don't know. Comments are turned off though for this stream.
Bringing up the random capitalizations is, I think that's another. It's a smaller detail going back to. I don't know why. I can picture the name as I read it, and I just don't remember it. The documentarist. What? That's a question to you. What's his name?
Oh, Genio Samuel?
Yes. Another thing to his credit is when he reads messages from Chris, that he puts the extra emphasis on the capitalizations, even when it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. It's a true transcript, through and through. It's exactly how he says it. Regardless of its meaning, it's what he says.
Mm-hmm.
I actually really like that. I like that detail he puts in. It must take a lot of effort to do that too, because he has to pause his editing every less than 10 seconds to put in a new one, because those aren't auto generated. He has to put those in. I don't know if he edits or if he has a team that edits, but good job on them. I like how it's presented. Here's what he put down for that stream. As foreknown and confirmed with research, My Little Pony Generation 5 and Pony Life not only are really bad, and that they do not exist in this timeline, but they all were originally licensed by Russia. Truth, direct, and addressed. Russia is using My Little Pony to... Yeah. Do something.
My Little Pony is a Russian psyop.
I love it. So funny.
I love schnitzel.
Rah.
Sorry, I realized that that most anyone would not know what I'm referencing. Just, there's just completely off topic. There's this guy who shows up on TikTok every once in a while. I've only seen, I think, 2 or 3 videos that he's done. But there's one... Okay, to start it off, every video starts with him taking a very sharp inhale through the nose, awkwardly long. And then he's always chewing gum. And then this one, he starts off just going, I love schnitzel. I love its taste. I love its crunch. I love the juiciness. I just love saying the word schnitzel. Schnitzel. And nothing about the video is funny, except a friend of ours, Riley specifically, said one time when we first saw this video, he went, I don't know what it is about this guy. There is no evidence of him committing a crime, but I know he is guilty.
That's funny.
So sorry for that.
Nah, it's okay.
I just realized we spent 20 minutes talking about Chris Chan again.
No, we. This is big news, though. I could talk about the Dune Part 2 movie a little bit. Do either of you know anything about Dune?
Only
the two
what
white guys kiss.
Two white guys kiss.
I only know what I've heard everybody talk about it.
So here's gonna be my
not a lot
2
of
cents
depth.
about it. My 2 cents are they absolutely butchered Cheney's character. Not butchered, sorry.
Chani?
Chani, yeah. That's it. When I read it, it was always Chani or Cheney. Chani. They kind of in the book. She wasn't like no. There wasn't a single Fremen that was against the religion in the book. They were all pretty devout on the religion. They were all questioning if Paul was the prophet, the chosen one. In the movie, they chose to use Zendaya's character as the one that's religion is oppression. They're using it against us, which I didn't think. I kind of thought like, why would they do that? And then I remembered who played it, Zendaya. She kind of plays as far as I know, she plays kind of the same character in every movie she's in. She kind of plays this like strong female lead role who kind of challenges the norms. And so I felt that it's a creative choice they took that I personally didn't agree with. But I also understand that movie adaptations are never going to be a one-to-one to the book. It just wouldn't be. It'd be a whole lot different, and it probably wouldn't be as entertaining to see on a movie screen. So they made this as sort of a. They took this as sort of a creative liberty to make sort of an extra conflict in there to get people, to get modern audiences thinking about different avenues. But
I disagree on the earlier point of it has to be done because the thing is, if you're making an adaptation, you don't have to change things to increase entertainment, because it's a problem across all entertainment right now. Movies, TV, video games, even books, is they are trying to generalize everything. In the last few months, I have seen on 3 different TV shows or movies, somebody, like a lead writer, a producer, a director, state that they had no desire to, or it was a waste of time to appeal to the fans.
yeah.
And it's like, if you are making something from a subject matter that has a source, like, for example, the Fallout show is a big one, the Halo show, or Dune. Now, everything I've heard about Dune so far is the quality's been great, like, minimal changes, it's just been there.
I do want to put in that I loved the movie. Overall, part 1 and 2, fantastic movies.
But is that these people are getting into these... They're getting into these, I don't know what word to use, because it's not like, I'm not saying like universes or communities, but just they're getting into subject matter and they are making adaptations or continuations, whatever, and then straight up saying, I don't care about the thing. It's like, if that is the case, so say like Fallout is the most recent one of the director straight up saying it was it's a waste of time to appeal to fans.
Yeah.
If that is the case, and you're getting involved with Fallout, either these people like the studios are just saying, you're a director. Do you want to do the show? No, not really. We'll pay you. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not how... I don't get what the whole shtick is. And I'm pissed that it's lasted this long. That they still make enough money to make it okay. Because the whole thing is, if you make something with soul and passion, it will make money. Like, that's just a thing. Especially if you're coming from a place that has a previous foundation.
I mean, the fucking Cyberpunk show literally probably saved Cyberpunk the game.
Yeah.
It definitely revitalized it.
Yeah, it was timed so perfectly because it brought a bunch of people into the game, and not like, I don't know, 2-3 months later, CD Projekt's like, hey, here's a major update. Also, we're planning on, or like, here's the expansion that we're going to work on, and at the same time is going to be a huge full game revamp. So it was just perfectly timed. A bunch of people are now interested because, boom, new show. Hey, this is cool. I heard about this game. And then they go, hey, we're going to make this game better. Just in time for a new wave of people getting into it. But, like, the Fallout show, not only is it based off of shit that people already disliked in the series, because, it's based off Fallout 4's continuity, and even then they stretched the shit out of it for the show and made it, it's just not there. The Halo show, same thing. Straight up said, we don't like Halo. Make your own sci-fi show if you want that. Don't take something that already exists and people like and just shit on it.
Yeah. There were some strange inaccuracies in the Dune movies, but they stuck to it as close as I believe they needed to. Now, there's kind of a chunk of lore missing from part 1 and part 2. Because in part 1, Paul has to kill a guy to kind of prove that he's worthy of surviving. Mm-hmm. In the movie, they dump his water into this soul well where life is, and they make it kind of a metaphor. In the book, they made him just fucking drink it. They said, his water is your water now. You have to drink it. Oh, and all of his belongings are yours, and you also now have a wife and 2 kids. For a year. You have them for a year.
Yeah, because you killed a man. It is your responsibility now to take care of his family.
Yeah.
Because whatever disagreement you had, whatever reason you had for killing a person, it's the whole thing. The son shall not suffer the sins of the father.
Yeah, you now have all of his responsibilities. Which, I think they should have included that in the movie, but from the pacing of the movie, it'd have been pretty hard to just sort of... They really wanted to push the romance between Chani and Paul, but it was kind of weird. Spoilers for the next 10 seconds. Are either of you planning on watching it?
No, I haven't even seen the first one.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think I know what you're about to say anyway.
Alright, well, I'll let you say it, and then I'll add to it if there's anything.
Well, I was going to say, if it had to do with the romance thing, I know that if I shouldn't say no. If I remember correctly, he only ever takes Chani on as a concubine.
In the book, that's true. In the movie, they kind of don't ever... In the movie, they kind of don't do that, or kind of allude to them being permanently together in any way. Because in the book, Paul says that he loves Chani and wants to be with her, but he has to be the emperor. But in the movie, they sort of don't do that in a way. At least they kind of do, but it's ham-fisted, and it doesn't lead well into what the next book should be. If they're planning on making the next book.
Yeah, so for that, Villeneuve.
I'm trying not to spoil it, because if you want to see it, so I don't want to word for word it.
Villeneuve, he stated that the farthest he wants to take the movies is Dune Messiah.
Okay.
So he only wants to do the first 2 books.
Okay. That's good. He's going to have to address a really awkward thing in the second book. I don't know if you're interested in hearing about that, but Frank Herbert had a lot of interesting notions with his Bene Gesserit pals. That book is weird. So is the third. Third's even weirder. Paul's sister's funky.
Well, we're at 31 minutes.
I was going to say, we are out of time. Thank you guys for listening. Or watching if you're watching on YouTube. Listening if you're on Spotify. Hope you all have a good rest of your day. Sorry if updating you on Chris Chan was the only thing we really did. But, sometimes Chris is on some spice, I'm telling you. I'm going to eat some cinnamon sugar now to get some spice. I think that'll be fun.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to leave us off with?
What?
Chris Chan as Lisan al Gaib.